Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this February 25th, and the time is 6 o'clock. That means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal. And Megan, we have had a little bit warmer temperatures if you consider the lower 50s warm at this point. But it's been nice, it's been refreshing, and it's not been really winter coat season these past 2 days.
Yeah, I have to say I've definitely enjoyed the 50s. I went on a little walk yesterday in a jacket and it was wonderful. But we do have warming up temperatures as you're going into today and tomorrow. And I mean, if you take a look at those current temperatures, I mean, we're quite warm to start off your day. 53 right now in Monticello. Now it is a little bit cooler as you're traveling more towards the east, seeing the 20s for Clintwood and Grundy. But take a look as we head into the afternoon, because everyone will be seeing much warmer temperatures today in the low to mid 60s. So I might need to put that jacket away, maybe go for some shorts on my walk, because it is definitely warmer. Now we do have a little bit of rain this morning. If you're heading up to the northern counties, you might need to have a raincoat. Rowan County seeing some rain right now, as well as portions of Morgan County, Elliott County, Menifee, Powell, and Estill County, as well as Lawrence and Wayne. So that's what we're looking at this morning, and that will continue to move out of our area as we're going through the next couple of hours. Amelia.
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, floodwaters continue to impact people in Leslie County. Boats are the only way some folks are able to get in and out or receive much needed supplies. Will Puckett rode along with one of those boat crews yesterday.
Well, it's been a week now that many folks who live in the confluence area of Leslie County have been trapped inside their homes or simply unable to access their property. 4 to 5 trips of people on boats every single day, taking in much needed supply ranging from water to dog food.
It's the sound of a lifeline that's much needed.
Basically now it's transporting people who are working in and out, people who need to get to their dogs, take care of them, feed them, and bringing people back out.
Boats loaded down with supplies, all from the community. This day it was hamburgers and mashed potatoes, a sign the people here aren't forgotten.
That's it. It shows that people do care. When you get outsiders coming in, even from different states, that lets people know that they are cared for.
While the water is receding, markings on poles like this one show it's the highest the Middle Fork of the Kentucky River has ever been.
Well, I seen it one time when I was younger. I was like 5, and I lived down that way, and it got way up there, but that was the only time.
While it's not a first-time occurrence for Confluence, without deliveries like these, it could be a different story.
If it wasn't for them, it'd probably be pretty rough. We probably had a hard time, but we know how to make it, so.
As efforts to reach everyone here continue, minds now turn to how much longer these efforts will be needed and how can they prevent it from happening again.
This is the highest it's ever been in the 53 years I've been here, and it's just presented a lot of problems.
Now, while this was all once sitting on top of water, it's now sitting on top of the roadway as it's starting to be seen. They say probably about 3 to 4 to 5 days left until all the water recedes. The worry right now is when it recedes just a little bit and no longer boats are able to access, but still parts of the road covered up and unable to be accessed by vehicle. In Leslie County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Confluence is directly impacted by how much water flow is coming in and out of Buckhorn Lake. State Senator Brandon Smith calls it a, quote, senseless long-term issue that we must address. He's also appealing to the Army Corps of Engineers about the need to dredge streams and lakes. President Trump approved Governor Beshear's request for an expedited major disaster declaration for Kentucky. The declaration releases federal funding for some counties impacted by the flooding. It currently includes individual and public assistance for Breathitt, Clay, Harlan, Knott, Lee, Letcher, Martin, Owsley, Perry, and Pike counties. As damage assessments continue, more counties could be added. Governor Beshear says 22 deaths are now being blamed on the weather since Valentine's Day. 7 of those are in eastern Kentucky. 4 are in Pike County alone. 3 deaths there are related to floodwaters. 1 is hypothermia. Other deaths in our area were in Morgan County, also because of hypothermia, and flood-related deaths in Clay and Floyd counties. As communities throughout the region clean up and rebuild, area organizations are jumping in to lend a hand. The Christian Appalachian Project put boots on the ground in Floyd County, helping a couple in the city of Martin clean up and prepare to remodel after the waters tore through their mobile home. The couple's son works at CAP and says it's a blessing to be a part of an organization that's helping his parents and so many others find just a little bit of hope.
It's very emotional for both my parents. It seems like they're still seem to be struggling a little bit emotionally. But they're ready to get home.
Many of the Lafferty family's neighbors are in the same boat, saying they have never seen the water devastate their neighborhood the way it did this time. CAP also brought in a semi-truck full of disaster relief supplies to the distribution center at the Knott County Sportsplex on Monday. This includes items like heaters, generators, water, and cleaning supplies. Program manager for CAP's Operation Sharing, Aaron Tomes, says their work is far from over.
People still care about them, and sometimes we think we lose faith in humanity. I know that Christian Appalachian Project hasn't forgot about them. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes for them, but I'm glad to not. I'm not here to give handouts. I'm here to give hand-ups, and we are in this for the long haul, for the whole duration.
Officials say distribution centers will be open as long as there is need and available supplies. Nonprofit organizations throughout the region are continuing their mission to serve those affected by the flood. Shelby Valley High School and the East Kentucky Dream Center teamed up the night of the flood last Saturday to be a central distribution hub in the Pikeville area. Since then, a disaster relief nonprofit joined in to serve hot meals to those in need.
And sometimes comfort food is the way to somebody's heart, just to smile and say, we're here for you, we hear your needs, and we want to bless you.
They also provide essential supplies for flood victims like baby formula, cleaning supplies, clothing, and water. They're open from noon until 5. If you are interested in volunteering or donating, you can go to mercychefs.com. They'll be here until next weekend. Appalachian Regional Healthcare is still collecting supplies for flood relief. ARH is asking for donations of cleaning supplies like bleach, heavy-duty garbage bags, mops, and shovels. They're also asking for baby care items, household essentials like toilet paper and paper towels, and new unused clothing. Many folks are trying to gut out their homes to prevent mold from building up as they start the road to recovery. I was able to speak with a Hazard woman who lost her home and the group of volunteers who are coming to help. Michael Deaton was in her home when it flooded. She says she did not expect the floodwaters to be so high, so she didn't have a chance to prepare before a police officer rescued her from the high waters.
I think I was in shock. You know, it was just, I just didn't think we'd get in the house this time, but I was wrong.
Pieces of Deaton's life now destroyed and sitting in her front yard. She used her home for work as a daycare for children.
My heart is broken over the kids, and they all call me Nanny, because that's what my grandchildren call me, and a lot of people call me Nanny, and it means the world to me.
Volunteers like Farron Cole are working around the clock to repair Deaton's home.
Hazard actually came down to Asheville, North Carolina, where I live, and after Hurricane Helene, and they brought an incredible amount of help down. And so this feels incredibly personal to just love back.
They are pulling mud from the basement and picking up debris.
You are not forgotten, Kentucky. We are here. There are other agencies here and groups here. Look for the helpers. There's nonprofits here. There's people that love you guys and came up to help.
But what gets Deaton through it all is neighbors both known and unknown who are helping her build back her life.
Thank you is not a good enough word, because I appreciate it so much, forever.
A day full of ordinary miracles.
Well, we sure love you, and I just met you, but I want to call you Nanny, Michael.
Okay, you can.
Yeah.
Deaton says she is grateful for the people helping her. Volunteers say they will concentrate on Deaton's house before they move on to another place. The IRS is offering tax relief for those impacted by winter weather and flooding in Kentucky. Following the federal disaster declaration, anyone who lives or owns a business in the state qualifies for the relief. You now have until November 3rd to file various federal, individual, and business tax returns and make payments. If you were affected and receive a late filing or late payment notice, be sure to call the number on the notice to make the IRS decline the penalty. Earlier this month, we told you about a healthcare career fair being hosted at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. But that event is now postponed because of the flooding. Officials with SOAR say a new date for the healthcare career pathway fair will be announced soon. Estill County Animal Shelter got the help that they needed this week. The shelter shared in a post the recent flooding and freezing temperatures brought an influx of animals. It thanked the Kentucky Humane Society for taking some dogs off their hands. Those dogs will now get the medical care and training that they need. Then one day they'll be put up for adoption.
We're looking at just a little bit of rain this morning, but once it's clear, we're looking at a pretty nice day ahead. We do see that towards our more northerly counties. We'll zoom in just a little bit towards portions of Moorhead and Rowan County, seeing some of that rain. Same for Staten. Now, as we go to West Liberty, we're kind of in between two little bands of rain. And as we go through the next couple hours, that will continue to move through. By the time we get to 9 a.m., we'll be completely clear and starting to see those clouds gone too, with the rest of the day being pretty sunny. Now we'll look at those temperatures this morning, and as you can tell, it's definitely a big, wide range of temperatures, looking at 53 degrees in Monticello, and as you're traveling towards Grundy, 29. But as we head into the afternoon, all will be warm with those forecast highs in the low to mid 60s. It's going to be quite the nice day again, mostly sunny skies for most of your Tuesday. Here's how we'll get to the high temperatures for today. We'll be warming up, hitting that high around that 3 o'clock hour. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. We've got more news on the way. We'll take a look at a rare disease that affects mothers' hearts after childbirth and what parents are doing to raise awareness.